and we just saw a dog die, do you feel emotionally attached? No. So the important part in order to achieve sadness is you need to have a good backstory. Okay? So how do we do that in a hook? How do we achieve the feeling of this through a hook in a story?
This guy, the woman, when they brought him as a baby.
Do you think it starts with him being a baby first? What's an ambulance? You don't know what an ambulance is?
Yeah.
Get the sick person. Yeah. Okay, so ambulance, right, is when you're sick, you're dying. Right? So we associate this idea, ambulance, as someone who's sick or dying. So what if the opening part of this movie was ambulance with the dog who is whining because it's in pain. Right? And so we feel this kind of gut reaction to something like that, and then we back the story up. So instead of a linear plot, right? Linear is this way, right? So instead of a linear one, what we do is we start with the end. We start with the end, and then we loop back. Okay? And so now you have this impact where you know something is happening to the dog, but you don't know what actually happened or what the result of what happened is. Right? For example, maybe you've seen a story or a movie like where the character says, "Yep, that's me, dying on the floor, bleeding out my own blood puddle. I wasn't always like this until that one time, blah, 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 blah." So now we know he's going to die, but we don't know when and we don't know how. Right? We don't know if he actually does die. What if Marley actually doesn't die but lives? But now we're emotionally invested in the story to find out the backstory of what's happening. Does that make sense? So the way that we interact with the story itself and the hook that we use can guide the story into a certain narrative, the way that we want the readers to believe it or feel it emotionally. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, any questions? Okay, so we have sadness, we have happiness, we have anger. What other emotions do we have? Anxiety. So how do we make someone feel anxious? How do we make someone feel anxious?
Situation.
So what situation? How would you design the hook in order for them to feel anxiousness?
Like everyone's staring at you.
Everyone's staring at you?
Yeah.
Right? Do you think that elicits nervousness or anxiousness in the reader though? It does for the character, but what about the reader? So you've got to remember, when we see a movie, it's like this. There's a screen, right? And the people are watching the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so on the movie, there's a person, right? And another person, and they're talking, and we don't feel their emotions because we're not in the character's head, right? So how do we make this person feel something for these people? Emotionally connect them. But how do we make them feel anxiousness? Because it's kind of hard to make someone feel anxious if they're not an anxious person, right? So how do we do that?
Show from first person's perspective.
Sure, but what else? How can we do that in writing? Aside from the first person perspective.
Describe your inner thoughts.
Yes, we can do that, but what else?
Describe the situation.
The writing style. Right?
Writing style.
So You hear that?
Yeah.
Looked at the clock. Tick, tick, tick. What happens next?
Like alarm thing.
My heart dropped.
There's only 3 minutes in this.
My heart dropped. What happened? What's going on? What's the scene?
Waiting for something?
My hand hesitated. What do you think the story's about? Hand hesitating, heart dropping, clock ticking.
Any test?
Could be a test. What else?
Basketball.
My hands. Sorry.
Like contest.
In my hands. I held the life